We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some huge news regarding the former Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. Now, over the past few months, there have been lots of rumors regarding a potential Ronda Rousey return to WWE, with Rousey still being under contract with the company, and many fans felt like it was just a matter of time before Vince McMahon brought Ronda Rousey back to the WWE at the right time to spice up the women's division, likely for the Raw brand. Recently, Ronda Rousey talked a bit about a potential return to WWE, and while Ronda tried to downplay things and make it seem like she wasn't sure if she was still under contract with WWE, one of our sources has mentioned that there have been talks between Vince McMahon and Ronda Rousey over a WWE return early next year in 2022. As of right now, there is actually quite a good chance that Ronda could make her comeback during the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match as a special surprise entrant. And if that's the case, Ronda would not surprisingly be a favorite to win the entire match and get a guaranteed championship match at WrestleMania 38 next year. Now, as far as who WWE plan for Ronda Rousey to return and feud against, the answer is not that shocking or unexpected, with a new backstage rumor revealing that Vince McMahon wants Ronda Rousey to challenge for Becky Lynch's Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 38 next year in one of the two main events of the show, with McMahon feeling like a big-name superstar is needed to help bring more attention and spotlight to the women's division come WrestleMania, and also give Becky Lynch, who is, in Vince's eyes, the biggest full-time women's division star in the company, a worthwhile opponent for the showcase of the Immortals. Now, of course, Becky Lynch is currently getting involved in a storyline with Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw, with Liv Morgan planned to be Becky Lynch's challenger for the Raw Women's title to close out this year, 2021. But unfortunately, like we mentioned in previous videos, there are reportedly no plans of Liv Morgan winning that Raw Women's title, or even being a long-term feud for Becky Lynch on Raw. And the plan would be then to shift gears to Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey for the road to WrestleMania 38. When you really think about it, although the likes of Liv Morgan are deserving of a chance at that Raw Women's Championship and a feud against Becky Lynch for a monumental pay-per-view like WrestleMania, it is hard to blame WWE for attempting to get Ronda Rousey to return, because Rousey's really the biggest potential opponent for Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. And the storyline already writes itself considering Ronda Rousey was last seen in a losing effort against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 35. And that match ended in a bit of an unclear way, giving Ronda an easy reason to go after Becky Lynch and the Raw Women's Championship following her return, which was a title that Rousey lost at WrestleMania 35 in the dual championship match with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. In all honesty, there really is not a more perfect time for Ronda Rousey to make her WWE return that has been rumored for much of the past 2 years, than early next year leading up to WrestleMania 38. And WWE clearly want big-time Becks to have a major match at WrestleMania next year. And again, Ronda Rousey is the perfect opponent to make that happen. And as some of you are likely aware, WWE planned for WrestleMania 38 next year to be a 2-day event, with Vince wanting this Becky Lynch vs Ronda Rousey match to main event one of the 2 days, likely on night 1 of WrestleMania on April 2nd, 2022. As far as whether or not Ronda Rousey would be winning the Raw Women's title from Becky Lynch remains to be seen, and more details regarding the plans for Ronda's return will definitely be revealed in the coming months. But as you're likely aware, Ronda Rousey is a special appearance part-time kind of superstar, and one source noted that it is likely Ronda Rousey would be brought back to WWE beginning early next year and up until SummerSlam 2022, with Ronda possibly winning that Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 38 and then having a reign as champion until SummerSlam 22, which is when Ronda Rousey would lose the championship and then leave WWE again. Let us know your thoughts on these new big rumors regarding Ronda Rousey returning to WWE next year in 2022. And do you feel like Ronda is the perfect WrestleMania 38 opponent for Becky Lynch? Or should Becky face off against someone else, perhaps a full-time talent on the main roster? Let us know. We now have some rather heartbreaking news regarding Triple H, and more so Triple H's future in WWE. As many of you can likely agree, with the way things have been going in WWE lately, and Triple H clearly being pushed to the sidelines and away from power, many fans felt like Triple H should be considering leaving WWE in the near future, either to work with another wrestling company, or to even start his own promotion. Not only has Triple H been taken out of power when it comes to the NXT brand, with Hunter sadly having little to no say regarding creative and the overall direction of NXT, which is the brand he built up. It was also reported that Triple H is not going to be moving up into a role of power behind the scenes when it comes to the WWE's main roster shows Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, something that not surprisingly upset Triple H to a great extent, because the favorite aspect of working for WWE behind the scenes for Triple H was apparently his roles in creative and the overseeing of a brand like NXT, where he could build up new stars and see them rise up the ranks and come into their own. That's what gave Triple H the most satisfaction and enjoyment while working for WWE. And it now sadly appears as though Triple H is no longer in a position to do this anymore in WWE. Now, the heartbreaking news regarding Triple H is that according to one of our sources, Triple H has no intentions of leaving WWE whatsoever, with Hunter having no interest in starting his own promotion, and instead is going to be making do with his new role behind the scenes in WWE, which is more so regarding some of the bigger picture business related aspects of WWE. And while this is still a high profile position for Triple H, the aspect of WWE that Triple H loved being involved with was creative and working with the talent, and he's sadly no longer going to be working in that department of WWE anymore, which is definitely such a shame, considering Triple H has so much to offer WWE in that area, and it is really the area that Triple H wants to work in, but Vince McMahon says otherwise, and Triple H has been moved from that area in WWE, unfortunately. We finish off today's wrestling news and rumors video with some absolutely huge news regarding Shane McMahon. Now, while there had been some speculation that following WrestleMania 37, Shane McMahon had left WWE, that no longer appears to be the case, and that if anything, Shane McMahon's roles and responsibilities in WWE are only going to be getting greater in the coming months. Apparently, while Shane McMahon has been gone from WWE television recently, Shane's actually still been working behind the scenes in WWE, and a breaking new backstage rumor has revealed that Vince McMahon is wanting for Shane McMahon to eventually take over the WWE for the main roster shows Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown in the relatively near future, and that Vince is currently preparing Shane McMahon for taking charge of WWE, with Vince feeling like his son Shane is the best choice to basically replace him for his day-to-day duties in WWE on a full-time basis, with Vince McMahon still having a majority of the control until he officially retires, which may never happen, but that Shane McMahon would be the one making decisions while Vince is away and not backstage at shows. Now, a lot of fans felt like this would be the role Vince McMahon would eventually give to Triple H, but that's clearly not the case, and Triple H has been moved to a different area behind the scenes, and it now seems like Shane McMahon will be the one taking more control of the main roster shows moving forward.